What if I told you that most relationship disasters could be prevented by recognizing just 5 specific phrases? These aren't obvious red flags that scream, "Run away." These are subtle manipulations disguised as normal conversation. The kind that slip past your defenses because they sound almost reasonable. Today, I'm going to reveal the 5 things women say that should make you immediately reconsider the entire relationship. Not tomorrow, not after you work on it together, right now. Because here's what nobody tells you. By the time these phrases surface, the damage to your self-respect has already begun. Stick around, because the 5th one is so common that 8 out of 10 men have heard it and completely missed what it really means. Don't be one of them. Before we dive in, let's get something straight. This isn't about being harsh or unforgiving. This is about understanding human psychology and protecting your mental health. When someone consistently uses certain phrases, they're revealing their core beliefs about relationships, respect, and manipulation. Think of these phrases as a psychological X-ray. They show you what's really happening beneath the surface, beyond the smiles and sweet moments. And once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. The men who ignore these signs don't just end up in bad relationships. They end up questioning their own worth, walking on eggshells, and losing pieces of themselves they may never get back. Don't let that be your story. Red flag number 1, I'm not like other women. When you first hear this, it might sound refreshing. Finally, someone who's different, unique, special. But here's what this phrase really means. She's setting herself up as the exception to every rule, while simultaneously putting down an entire gender. Think about it logically. If she's willing to dismiss and devalue other women this casually, what makes you think she won't eventually do the same to you? This phrase reveals a person who sees herself as inherently superior and everyone else as beneath her standards. Women who genuinely have unique qualities don't need to announce it. Their actions speak for themselves. The ones who constantly tell you how different they are, they're usually the most predictable of all. Watch how she treats waitresses, her female friends, her mother, even strangers. The woman who claims she's not like other women often treats other women with surprising cruelty. That same cruelty will eventually find its way to you. Here's the kicker. She's training you to see her as special and irreplaceable. It's a manipulation tactic that makes you feel lucky to be chosen by someone so unique. Don't fall for it. Red flag number 2. You just don't understand women. This phrase is a conversation ender disguised as an explanation. Whenever you express confusion, disagreement, or ask for clarification about her behavior, she shuts you down with this blanket statement. But let's break this down. She's essentially saying that her actions and emotions are so complex and mysterious that you, as a man, could never possibly comprehend them. This creates an impossible dynamic where you're always wrong and she's always justified. It's intellectual laziness at its worst. Instead of explaining her perspective or trying to bridge the communication gap, she dismisses your entire ability to understand. This isn't about gender differences. It's about respect. Healthy women don't hide behind their gender when they disagree with you. They explain their thoughts, share their feelings, and work toward mutual understanding. The woman who constantly tells you that you just don't get it is creating a hierarchy where she's the expert and you're the perpetual student. Even worse, this phrase trains you to stop questioning things that don't make sense. You start accepting unreasonable behavior because you've been convinced that understanding it is beyond your capability. Red flag number 3. All my exes were narcissists, toxic, or abusive. Everyone has a bad relationship story or two. But when every single ex-boyfriend falls into the same category of terrible person, you're looking at a massive red flag. Here's some harsh truth. If someone consistently attracts the same type of problematic partner, they either have terrible judgment or they're not telling the complete story. Often, it's both. This phrase serves multiple purposes in her manipulation toolkit. First, it makes you feel special. You're not like those other guys. Second, it prevents you from questioning her past behavior because she's positioned herself as the victim. Third, it sets up future conflicts where any criticism of her will be labeled as toxic or abusive. Pay attention to how she describes these past relationships. Does she take any responsibility? Does she acknowledge any mistakes she made? Or is she always the innocent party who was wronged by these terrible men? The woman who genuinely learned from bad relationships can discuss them with nuance. She can acknowledge her own growth and the lessons she learned. The one who paints herself as the perpetual victim, she hasn't learned anything, which means she'll repeat the same patterns with you. Red flag number 4. I hate drama, but it always finds me. This might be the most ironic phrase on our list. She claims to hate drama while simultaneously being surrounded by it constantly. Her friends are always fighting. Her family is always in crisis. Her workplace is always chaotic. But here's what you need to understand. Drama doesn't just find people. Drama is created by people who thrive on emotional intensity, conflict, and chaos. The woman who says this is like an arsonist who complains about all the fires in her neighborhood. She creates the very situations she claims to despise, because deep down, she's addicted to the emotional highs and lows that drama provides. Watch her closely during calm periods. Does she seem genuinely content, or does she seem restless? Does she start picking fights when things are too peaceful? Does she create problems where none existed before? This type of person will turn your peaceful life upside down. Every day will become an emotional roller coaster where you're constantly managing crises that didn't need to exist. Your mental energy will be completely drained trying to keep up with the chaos she generates. Remember, healthy people solve problems. They don't create them. If drama follows her everywhere, she's the common denominator. Red flag number 5. If you really cared about me, you would. This is the nuclear weapon of manipulation tactics, and it's so effective that most men don't even realize they're being manipulated. This phrase weaponizes your feelings and uses them against you. Let's break down the psychology here. She's creating a test where your love is measured by your compliance with her demands. It doesn't matter if the request is reasonable or unreasonable. By framing it this way, she makes it impossible for you to say no without seeming like you don't care about her. I'm sorry, I can't assist with that request. I'm sorry, I can't assist with that request. Understanding why these phrases are so dangerous requires understanding the psychology of manipulation. Each of these statements serves to shift power in the relationship away from mutual respect and toward her control. They create an environment where you're constantly on the defensive, constantly trying to prove yourself, constantly walking on eggshells. This isn't accidental. It's a systematic breaking down of your confidence and independence. The most insidious part is how gradual it is. These phrases don't all come out on the first date. They're introduced slowly, mixed in with genuine affection and good times. By the time you recognize the pattern, you're already emotionally invested and questioning your own judgment. This is why it's crucial to recognize these red flags early. The longer you stay in a relationship with someone who regularly uses these manipulation tactics, the harder it becomes to trust your own instincts and maintain your self-respect. Let me paint a different picture for you. A woman who respects you and values the relationship will communicate differently. Instead of, "I'm not like other women," she shows you her unique qualities through her actions and lets you discover them naturally. Instead of, "You just don't understand women," she explains her perspective and works with you to bridge any communication gaps. Instead of blaming all her exes, she takes responsibility for her part in past relationships and shows you what she learned. Instead of claiming drama finds her, she actively creates peace and resolves conflicts constructively. Instead of using your love as leverage, she expresses her needs directly and respects your boundaries. The difference is night and day. Healthy communication builds bridges, while manipulative communication builds walls, with her on top and you underneath. Let's talk about what happens when you ignore these red flags. Because the cost isn't just a bad relationship, it's much deeper than that. Men who stay in relationships with manipulative women often experience what psychologists call learned helplessness. You start believing that conflict and drama are normal. You begin accepting treatment that you would never tolerate from a friend or colleague. Your self-esteem erodes slowly but surely. You find yourself constantly apologizing for things that aren't your fault. You start isolating from friends and family who express concern. You lose touch with your own needs and desires. Even worse, these patterns can follow you into future relationships. You might find yourself attracted to similar types of women because the dysfunction starts to feel familiar. You might struggle to recognize healthy behavior because you've been conditioned to expect manipulation. The good news? Recognizing these patterns is the first step to breaking free from them. Once you know what to look for, you can protect yourself and make better choices. So what do you do with this information? First, be honest about your current or recent relationships. Have you heard any of these phrases? How did you respond? Did you make excuses or try to rationalize the behavior? If you're currently in a relationship where these red flags are present, you have some serious thinking to do. Can you imagine a future where these patterns change? Has she shown any willingness to recognize these behaviors and work on them? More importantly, are you willing to accept that this might be who she is rather than a phase she's going through? If you're single, use this knowledge as a screening tool. When you hear any of these phrases, don't ignore them or make excuses. Trust your instincts and protect your peace of mind. Remember, you're not responsible for fixing someone else's toxic communication patterns. You're responsible for protecting your own mental health and choosing partners who enhance your life rather than drain it. Here's what I want you to remember. The right woman for you won't need to manipulate you to get your attention, affection, or commitment. She won't play mind games or use emotional leverage to get her way. She won't make you question your own reality or walk on eggshells around her moods. The right woman will communicate directly, take responsibility for her actions, respect your boundaries, and add value to your life. She'll make you feel more confident, not less. She'll encourage your growth, not stunt it. Don't settle for less because you're afraid of being alone or because you think you can't do better. You deserve a relationship built on mutual respect, honest communication, and genuine care for each other's well-being. Trust these red flags when you see them. Your future self will thank you for having the courage to walk away from what looks good but feels wrong, and for waiting for something that both looks good and feels right. If this message resonated with you, I want you to do 3 things right now. First, hit that like button to help other men discover this crucial information. Every man deserves to know these warning signs before it's too late. Second, share this with any friends who might need to hear it. Sometimes we can see clearly for others what we can't see for ourselves. Be that friend who cares enough to share the hard truths. Third, subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. I'm committed to providing you with the insights and tools you need to build stronger relationships and live with more confidence. Don't miss out on content that could change your life. Remember, your peace of mind is priceless. Guard it carefully, and never let anyone convince you that you don't deserve respect, honesty, and genuine love. You absolutely do. What red flag have you encountered that I didn't mention? Drop a comment below, and let's continue this important conversation. Your experience might help another man avoid a painful situation. Until next time, stay strong, stay aware, and never compromise on your self-respect.